So guys, tell me, why did you decide to sell your home in the first place?
I think the big reason is we lived in a condo and we were looking to get into our own home and have our own space, and also to have some lawn space that was our own. Just make the home a little bit more of our own.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear a lot that people say, I love the idea of living in a condo and not having to shovel or mow or whatever, but then, I have to make decisions amongst a group of people and we're not always on the same page, right?
Right.
Yeah, that can happen. So when you were looking for your new home, tell me, what were you looking for exactly?
Well, one of the things we were really interested in is more space in the garage, because we have hobbies that are outdoorsy and take up a lot of room. So we really wanted a larger garage space. We wanted some office space too to operate independent business that we run as well. So when we were looking for a new home, we wanted to have those pieces accounted for to start with. And then from there, we really wanted a place that felt like home.
And I think we had lived in a unique place before, and I think one of the big things is we wanted to continue to have a unique home, something that wasn't just a cookie cutter home and had some character to it as well.
Awesome. Awesome. So how did you guys end up picking our team to help you sell your home and then find a new one?
Well, I'd known Dan for quite some time in the past, and I always told him when the time came for us to make our home purchase, he'd be the person to call, and that's how it went.
And we also had friends who had also used Anshin Homes and had very good experience. So based upon feedback from friends as well too.
That's awesome. That's really good to hear. It always feels good when people are referring you, or like you knew me from a past experience from a marketing role I was in. And
right.
When people trust in you in this new endeavor, that's pretty cool.
Well, and you hit on something I think that's important, and that's trust. And I think it's like home buying or car buying. You're not an expert in that unless you are. And going to someone that you can trust and you can count on was really important to us too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what were some of the things that you liked most about our team approach?
I think some of the biggest things are, it was, we had multiple people that we could contact, and each person kind of specialized in their own part of the experience. And then also to even, starting with staging and, walking through the home and, just getting that set up for that. And then as far as the buying experience, just really walking us through the buying experience, making sure we had communication, talking things over when we had additional questions. I think those things were really helpful.
Awesome. So thinking back, back to when we first met, what were you most nervous about going into this, knowing that you had to sell a home but you were looking for something different? What were some of the things that made you nervous?
Well, this was my first home buy. I moved into Karen's condo when we started dating. So for me, it was all alien and weird, and having no frame of reference, I was nervous about everything. So being able to work again with someone that you trust to talk through the steps, understand time frames, understand what you need to do to get a home ready to sell, look at what it takes to buy the home that you're looking for. And you took us through that first meeting of understanding what we want and understanding what our wants were, which we didn't do that step. If it wasn't for that, I think we would have been a little bit more lost. Yeah. So we did take that step back to say, what is important to you? How do your values align with selling the home you have and buying the home that we have now? So I think that was a perfect starting point, was understanding our values, and it helped, I think, lead us down a good path.
Yeah, I think the things that I was most nervous about is selling our own place and, finding a place that we liked and then selling our own place at the same time, and getting our place ready to sell too. I think those were probably my biggest concerns. But it was really helpful. Dan went through marketing and what was going on in our market, and so that we could understand that a little bit more as well too as we were going into it. So it kind of relieved a little bit of that stress, having more information.
Awesome. Yeah, that's something I hear a lot, is that people are nervous about selling and then not having a place to go, anything like that. But with our team approach, certainly we come back to the team meeting, we say, we have these new clients, here's what they're looking for. Before you're even close to being in the market, we're looking for those ideal properties for you. And I remember actually sitting down at a different kitchen table right here. People saw this house and going, I think I have the perfect buyers for this home.
Yeah.
And you guys were looking for the space for Team 242, all of your bike gear, all of that, the office space. This
Yeah.
house has all of that.
Yeah.
It's just perfect. Yeah. So.
Well, and I'd add to that too that the approach that you took with us, and I think the team was really important, but the step that I think made us really a successful team with you was you understood what we wanted and exactly what you just said. I've got a place I think that's going to be perfect for you based on what you want and what is important for you. And you were 100% right, and we're sitting in that house right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think listening is such a huge skill set in this role. Really hearing what's important to them, what they want. And,
Right.
and you're talking about the values up front, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
go through that mission process.
Yeah.
And that's so important because it's not just a transaction.
Right.
Yeah.
You come home after work, this is your home.
Right.
And there's a lot of sentimental ties to it. And
Yeah.
thinking about doing that in a new home, that's a big step.
Right.
So, awesome. So when you first walked through this home, what were you most excited about?
Oh, everything.
I think, the big things is even when we saw the pictures, we were like, wow, this place looks great. And then we're like, okay. And I remember Andy kind of settling me down and saying, don't get too excited about it. Like, hold your horses. Let's see it first. And like when we walked in, we both kind of kept looking at each other. We're like, wow, this is like, has everything we need. And also too, it's just a little bit nicer than the home we had come from. So it's just like experience, like that little step up too. Just having that as well was a nice thing too.
I think we made it through the front door to the kitchen, and we were probably about ready to sign the papers because the kitchen was great. But you understood again what we wanted. Like, this garage is a garage for you, and it's been perfect. The kitchen is what we wanted. It's perfect. It's got hardwood floors, which we really wanted. And I remember sitting in the basement, and you asked that question at that time, what's it missing? And we kind of sat there and shrugged and scratched our heads. We're like, I can't think of anything.
I think the only thing you thought of was not having a fireplace.
Yeah, if you put a gun to my head, it'd be a fireplace, but
And we
that's
can
the
live without
one
a
thing that's on the fringe.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
But
and
it
I
was,
remember your old condo backed up to that conservancy too.
Right.
So, that was
Yeah.
important. So it's great that you have the mature
Right,
trees
exactly.
behind you and
yes.
everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So thinking back to your home sale too, that went pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think contributed to that going so quickly?
I think, you talking to other people that were in the market, knowing people that were interested. And it was nice, like, you filled us in as well too, like letting us know what was going on behind the scenes. And so those things kind of like going back to even that reassurance that we knew what was happening, even though we couldn't visually see it ourselves. I think, having, like, going back to even the team approach, I mean, there were so many people involved, getting our home ready. We started with going through with the stager and, getting that all set up and looking at things that maybe if we change it this way in our old home, maybe that would be appealing to a buyer. Looking at those little things that we could, do. And then also to, see the photographer was great for our home and just really getting it in its ideal light. And, those kind of things really made a huge difference.
Awesome.
And I think your knowledge of the marketplace, like Karen touched on, was
Yeah.
really hugely important. Like, I never felt that we were ever going to be in a bad place selling that place because you explained the marketplace to us and how it works in a way that we could understand, and it really made us feel confident.
Yeah.
Well, we were so grateful for the opportunity. It's always amazing helping people that and especially people that have been referred to. There's that trust right from the start, and so I think that led for a really successful path for you guys. And I'm so grateful that you guys ended up here in this amazing home and are loving it so much. So thank you so much, you guys.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
our pleasure. Thank you.